Good afternoon, everybody. Lovely to see you, and thank you very much for coming to be here today with me, back in what I think of as home. It was a very formative place for me, and it's always lovely to come back and play this magnificent organ. We're very blessed to have here at St. Peter's. It's lovely to see some familiar faces and some old friends, and lovely to see you as well, Bev. Suddenly the pressure is upped. Because the great Beverly Manning is here, so lovely to see you. I'm going to play hopefully a nice varied recital. It's a mixture of English music, a mixture of a bit of Bach, naturally, and some French music, which all speaks to my taste and sensitivities. Hopefully it does to you as well. I'm going to start with a piece by Malcolm Archer, the contemporary composer. It's a nice little ditty and a nice way to open the recital, followed by a rather beautiful little chorale by J.S. Bach, showcasing some of the quieter stops and the more unusual combinations that we wouldn't necessarily hear during liturgical worship. So I'll play those two, and then I'll come back and explain a little bit more in a bit. Hello to family at home watching on YouTube. Hello, boys. I thought the drive from Lincolnshire was a bit too far for them, so they're at home, but they're watching. And you've got a lovely view of my tonsure as well, my developing tonsure. But enjoy these first two pieces. There we go. Thank you. So now we move on to one of my favourite composers, Herbert Howells, who was a 20th century English composer, known in Salisbury actually. He was assistant organist at Salisbury Cathedral in the early 20th century, where he'd been sent to die. He'd been diagnosed with Graves' disease at a very young age and was told to get out of London and to go somewhere where the air was clear. And he went to Salisbury for a couple of years. He was one of the first people to be treated with radiotherapy, and it worked because he lived well into his 80s and died, I think, 1989, I think, or slightly earlier. One of my favourite pieces, it's a real roller coaster. It starts off incredibly quietly and then builds up to a wonderful crescendo, showcasing the real power of this instrument, and then back down again to nothing, which this instrument also does exceptionally well. you very much. Next we move on to a little expression by Naji Hakim, who was a Lebanese-born composer, a French organist, slightly more atonal than Howells, perhaps, but shows a bit of variety in the sounds that this wonderful organ makes. Followed by another English composer, Elegy by George Thalben Ball, who was organist at the Temple Church in London. And the story behind this piece of music is that they were doing a live Radio 3 broadcast, I forget when, a long time ago, and they'd finished earlier than planned, and the producer looked at him and went like this, and he improvised this rather beautiful piece of music just to fill the gap so that there was no silence. It's a wonderful tour de force, and again shows a bit of variety, including string-like sounds for the tune. Thank you. Thank you very much. Next, move on back to J.S. Bach, who's, as I say, is a staple of organ recitals. I think last year I didn't play any Bach, and somebody commented. So here I am playing some Bach again. We've got double the load this year. It's the Prelude and Fugue in G. It's a nice jolly piece with a pedal solo in the middle. Those eagle-eyed of you will have seen I'm walking with crutches at the moment. I've managed to do my knee ligament. The ravages of age are setting in. But hopefully the pedal solo should be okay. And then followed by a little piece of Stanford, who celebrates his anniversary this year. I forget what, I think it's 150, possibly, not sure. I should know, really. Stanford being that great sort of Anglo-Irish composer, and I've just spent 10 days in Dublin, so it made sense to put some Stanford in. Thank you very much. Finally, just to finish off, I'm going to play a big piece of Longley, partly because my father, who, as Jan said, was director of music here, and was very formative for me growing up. He despised French organ music, despite Bev and his ability to play Messiaen. I'm not playing any Messiaen this year, but Longley is a real favourite composer of mine. In fact, we had Longley's Messe Solennelle at my wedding up in Lincoln Cathedral, which was quite something. It's not a quiet piece, but I think they always say, it's good to go out with a bang. So thank you very, very much for being here. Do stay around and have a chat afterwards. It's lovely to see so many of you here. And then I'll be nipping for a pint, probably, across the road, because I'm told it's very good and they're very welcoming of recitalists. So what more excuse do I need? Thank you again very much for being here. Safe journeys home, and hopefully see you next year.